Hey YouTube, we're reloading some 38 specials for my father-in-law. Being that in this day and age, you can't hardly find ammo for anything, let alone 38 specials. And if you do, the only thing you can find is Full Metal Jackets, which are effective, but not exactly the hollow points that we want for, God forbid, a self-defense situation or whatever else. So we got some, see if I can get the camera to focus there. We got some old Speer 158 grain jacketed hollow point we're gonna stuff in here. We already loaded some. I know it's kind of dark there, but I gotta have a sunscreen to keep the glare off my camera, so it makes it kind of dark in that corner. Here you seem to be too far out, you can't see. There we got some 148 grain Hornady XTPs. My favorite bullet in a handgun is the XTP. Let's zoom back out here. But we used up what we had left of them, which was only about 10 in that box. So now we got some here you can't see that we're gonna stuff in here. Over 3.6 grains of tight group. Remember, don't use any reloading data that I tell you. Always do your own research. Back it up in the book. Multiple books. Do your own research on load development. Because it's that important. We just had to refill our primers there. As you can see, my 38 Special 357 Magnum shell plate is, you'll see when I get to around to the right spot, it'll go from being really hard to turn to loose. And I believe it's how tight it fits on that center shaft, because I don't have this nut really tight. And I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to come up with a way to buff the inside of that here, if I can show you here. Now this 9mm Luger and 40 Smith & Wesson, 38 Super, and a bunch of others, this plate, we've used it a lot. My son has. You can sort of see a little bit of him back there. One of my sons. He's very interested in reloading and learning about reloading and shooting. But you'll see the inside of that. I don't know if I can get the camera to show it or not. There you can see it. I mean, it's buffed up and mirror smooth. And we didn't do that. So that had to be from usage, turning so often. And it seems like whenever I put a brand new shell plate on here, it turns hard. It don't matter what I do, it'll turn hard, and then the next as you use it, then things will start to fall in line. Well, I want to get rid of that break-in period. So I want to figure out how I can buff that center section, but not take it too big and out of tolerance that there ends up being slop and it doesn't position the cartridges correctly to mate with the dies properly. As it says in the description on the channel there, now that there, it just turned like it should. Nice and easy. But you'll see the next one I do, might turn real hard. I got to tap on the handle. It's that hard that if I just shove on it, it'll turn it that violently that it'll shake the powder out of the casing. Now this is not very much powder going in here. It's a very light, well, I shouldn't say it's a light, it's a normal, middle of the road, in between the starting grains and the max grains, 38 special load, with a powder that, like I said, I'm using Tight Group. I prefer to choose a powder that fills that casing up. But with this amount of powder, you could easily triple charge these casings with this really fast powder because it doesn't take much. See how hard it turned that time? So until I come up with my either arbor with some sandpaper around it or emery cloth, or if I just happen to be able to find a cutter, a square end cutter like for a mill, that I can just run down through there by hand just to take whatever that little imperfection is out of there. I guess the only way for me to get them to run smooth is to load a bunch of ammo, and that really ain't something we should be unhappy about, right? You're probably watching this channel because you enjoy loading ammo, or you're just getting started. I've been reloading since I was 18 years old with Lee products. Yep, there we had a double feeder there. Okay, now there it turned really nicely. I am kind of new to the Loadmaster. My boys had gotten it for me as a present. And I really like it. But I'm getting used to it. All the little differences about it and whatnot, I do like. You can definitely load a lot of ammo in a short period of time. Especially when that shell plate's running nice and the primers are going in well. You got nice primer pockets with a, nice shape and everything's going well. You can really buzz right along. I keep standing up because I can't see that little light charge in that big long case. And you don't want to ever just take it for granted that it dropped a powder charge in there or that you didn't mess up and it's double charged, or there ain't no charge at all. Because if there's no charge at all, that primer can be enough to push the bullet into your forcing cone or barrel, especially on a revolver. The rifling don't start to out here, so that there's enough room for that bullet to start in there, and you go, huh, what the heck, that one was weird, and you just cock it and send another one. Well, now you got an obstructed bore. Who's that? Where's he going?
Get her.
Huh?
Pick her up.
Where's she live?
She's just getting her nails done. I have one. I got it back yesterday. I forgot to give it to you.
Well, there you go. Look at that. I don't know if you heard all that, but I was talking quiet so you didn't, because I don't edit any of these videos. Mostly because I don't have the program to do it. But anyway, so what you see is what you're going to get. You're going to see every little hiccup, mistake I make. You're going to see when the press has a hiccup, how I solve it, how I deal with it, how I check it when it does. Right now, it appears to be pushing the casings in a little too deep. I gotta tickle the top of that casing out just a little bit to get it lined up with the decapping die and sizing die. Straight wall pistol cases with Lee dies. It's carbide. You don't need to lube those casings at all. Just run them through. Now, if you didn't have that carbide there, if you have a set of dies that don't have carbide, that are all steel, then you're going to need to lube them, just like you have to lube a bottleneck rifle casing. it wasn't for this little light, I would never be able to see that powder charge down in there. As you notice, I'm getting lower and lower. You can't really see me in the camera because my chair slowly slides down. Don't hold pressure anymore. And that one there, like I said, turns nice. I would like it to turn a little freer than that, me personally, but it's getting there. But you'll see that some of them are really tight. Excuse me. If you want to watch a video without somebody spitting tobacco juice and getting a drink and putting a cough drop in, you picked the wrong video. By no means do I condone or think anybody should use tobacco. It's taking every tooth in my mouth. So anybody younger that might be watching this, don't do it. Stop now. Be smarter than me. Learn from my mistakes, which is part of what I hope people can do with some of these videos, because I don't cut them. I don't edit them. We're going to run this through till we get around 20 minutes, and then we'll get the rest of what we're going to get here. And then the next video that I hope to put up is going to involve making 38 special shot shells without the shot capsules. Basically loading them up like a normal shotgun shell. I got to remember to look at the camera and not look at the viewfinder or look at myself. And we'll get into that a little more when we are into the other video, because I tend to jump around and bounce around on subjects and stuff when I'm talking, so I want to try and stay. Oh, we emptied that one. I want to try and stay on the task that I'm going to type into the video title, so that when you choose to watch my video, which I hope you have stuck around as long as you hope you're still here, don't be afraid to give me a comment or hit that like button so I know people are watching my videos. I'm not really good at looking at my statistics on YouTube to know whether or not people are watching my videos, whether they're watching them the whole way through or not. See, now there I didn't turn the shell feeder. So I got an empty hole, which is no big deal, but it shows the importance of watching all those stations on the progressive press. I wish that would stay up like that and not interfere with that tubes going up and down, which I think it will. And before you ask, I have plenty of lube in there. Little light oil in there. It's not that it's running dry. We're at 19. Eventually, we're going to get one of those halo little LED lights that stick up here in the top, stays out of your way, really puts light directly down into the casings. Now that one there turned really nicely. And then there it turns very stiff. I mean, if you just mash that handle up with the force it takes to make that turn the way it is right now, when it kicks that loaded cartridge out, it'll throw it over on the floor. Still got primers coming down the chute. Yep. Okay. I don't know if you can pick that up in the background in the video, but somebody's wrapping off some semi-automatic fire here, and free rural America. And we don't necessarily have people phoning the police about it, because everybody just goes, oh, that's so-and-so over there, and so on and so forth. Everybody kind of knows everybody. If we don't recognize the firearm going off, we recognize the location it's coming from. And excuse me, I keep itching. Mosquitoes are something fierce this year. There we had a double or triple feed the way they fell out of there. Alright, so we're at about 23 minutes here in our video, and with me jaw jacking there, we got one in there, and we made ourselves a nice little handful of ammo, maybe 2-3 cylinders worth, and a 6-shot revolver there. So here's where we'll clip it off here. We could probably do one more and fit it in here. Our primer. Primer. Check for our powder. We are going to have to add primers here, so this will be a good place to stop. Why that jumped off there, I don't know. Alright, well that's where we're going to shut our video off, so we'll see you in the next one. Don't forget to hit that like button for me, so I know whether or not anybody's watching any of this, whether I should continue. Give a comment. You see something that you do that you think I ought to try, make it easier for me or get better results, let me know. And if you see something here that helps you, that if you're starting out reloading, something to give you a little tip or whatever helps you, or you have any questions, don't forget to put them in them comments. I've been checking all the time for comments and nobody's commenting, so maybe I'll get the first comment and I'll be able to answer you or help you out, or maybe even answer you in a video. All right. Well, you have a good day. We'll see you in the next one.